Abusian sakwa mo akwa babia Amanyosem na oguso a wo hwe na safa ya du dia atentam panyimfo adwomadwa kan so be send messages ne dia brain na kenkan e dia mo ne panyimfo no mu di dwuma yenua Alfred Kumi dodo na bonem na ne Adenta Kumi ene o fidua mo gina mu dia ma MPP Amanyoko sanso ana yenua eye Razak bache say de no Abdul Razak bonem na ne chachas ana no brofo di chachas ono so ejina mu dia ma the opposition National Democratic Congress NDC ene ye ne ankase enu citizen ato dazi chochopo penyini e de ma Great Consolidated Popular Party ene ono so o de bejafo mama kwaba
enu
ya chapo mi ede
ajo ya mi adumo senior
how was your Valentine
senior enu menne
ade
Valentine
asome na okubise
o de busa bi pedifo no da Valentine dey
how was your Valentine
senior enu menne o enu menne
wama anyway chachas how was your Valentine
na me bra wamba na chachas
Valentine na kaza won aya na eto da bia obetima ka bi se o Valentine so ni faso ba o ha na flavor na be fa a false,
it's true.
A false, simple.
It's true.
Say, to be very honest, you say, na member yetwe a ma energy. In some way, somehow, we need them in our lives, and they give us a lot of motivation in their lives.
Well, what is your understanding about Valentine?
Valentine is all about showing love.
What kind of love?
Love as in say, obedo. Obedo.
I don't come to topic.
Oh,
Sami true consortium.
Oh, I don't come to topic.
Say o kai o twe man be wura.
Like at the end of the day, I don't know me what I is straightforward whether we like it or yes. I was say a chro don, a tray ya dofo ya busia ni we ni na. But naturally no. Since I didn't go be akwe man and woman as.
Ndwamu.
Yeah. Akwe ndwamu sani define no.
What's
it define because at least I
define.
I was saying with fresh I mean I'm go me show happy Valentine. Adenta Kumi too you also call friend. Oh, that's all friend. But because say him na the call.
Of course I know I expect a crowd there.
I to that because say him na the call. No. Oh,
anyway, I mean as part of me always showing love. So I was saying, I'm a friend, I'm a friend. So I didn't forget to show love to all of you
God
on Amanyosem.
God bless you.
God bless you. This is yours.
Just
to wish you.
Made in Ghana.
Wish you made in Ghana. And as domestication, you know there, I'm made in Ghana.
Promoting made in Ghana product. And Rami to be some of the Bremo na technical for the God bless you.
And all your producers, me know why you're a producer, but your technical team.
Yeah.
I have theirs with me. I'm a from GCPP.
And then
it just
but
wish them happy
back to your question, Valentine no cry any say because but your chimadrin coin or chimadrin romantic affair. But yeah, the attitude and say so ye chiro do the child dear.
Then say me na can also. So you might show love to Obia Onyibi, you might show love to orphans, you might show love to the destitute, you might show love to your parents. But then because there are other days we also get to show love to those people. It tends to be more of days to show love to your dear one in terms of whether your boyfriend or girlfriend or your wife or your husband. Because there is a Mother's Day, there is Father's Day, there is a World Orphan Day. You can show love to all these different categories of people. But Valentine's Day, as much as it's just generally to show love, it has also become a day, there is not a lot of days like that, even though there was a National Boyfriend Day or Girlfriend Day. But I am not too sure how that day is also observed. So it has become that. However, I think for me, I want to show love to the President of Ghana. I want to show love to the Vice President of Ghana. I want to show love to Openyin Kenoforiata. I want to show love to Opeyin Gabi Ochida.
Are you giving them the chocolate?
I want to show love to Opeyin Alan Kojo Chairman team. I want to show love to the economic team of Ghana. There.
What a solid team.
Jumasuna Waye. There were for Ghana if you Penda Yawo. Now was your question when I don't him. Now still one year Timabia Mayan. Now one realize the kind of depth what you have question. Mesra one day in Kai Oya Valentine Day ye di. One cannot done when they were in opposition and the promises they made to the good people of Ghana. Now in Kai won't honor what promises. One share there they don't know how to bring lives of people, but they know how to bring back the economy. Now, if this is the way they are bringing back the economy there, then we have a long way to go.
And that simple topic, state of affairs. There we are, Enyama Ababedru. So, the patch of fire call back, actually, Kakra. Baumia, Occupy Ghana, Iraq, and Kuntunkunku Furiata, me patch of mobile to get them ready for me. Na yenin komobi. If you as in Peninse, you do a man ponswa, na ya kan yanum. Na ye say, Onipa be who's not yes, and if we are tias for. In say any an never born ya kind, ama what's known dear Akoso. Yanko Pandaruma. Omo lady occupy Ghana demonstration. Most of them found themselves in this government. I bid my hold key positions. Yera Kenneth Kuntunkunuku Furiata was very instrumental during 2016 election when you talk about finance and other financial related issues. Yera Dr. Muhammad Baumia was the ambassador. Otimi diagnose Ghana economic challenges in how or set 170 questions for the predecessor. Now the minimum say will be a set question. Lecturer be a teacher be a set question be an work with a marking scheme. And to our answers to those questions, just or committees our questions no baby obey me answer. But it seems like the same question on the lecturer himself no cannot even provide answers to that. The patcho ye more na yentie baby a chance any free na yen family the state of affairs, the kind of situation we find ourselves in as a country. The patcho yen going in Yen Shasia and free a year occupy Ghana for demonstration more year somewhere 2014-2015. This Occupy Ghana demonstration now you're a finance minister can Furiata no room. But Yen Shasia and free Dr. Muhammadu Baumia. What a solid team. And also so and also I won't buy it no. Okay, Yen Shasia and free can Furiata wise we look for a year or more marker.
Ewo Australia wo show mine sika semso atena yekese ewo nkramantam no emu na ne nyina ne se eneyi wate atua atenteso kokko e de atrempanifo ya ne nyina efa individual pension bond holders jumedi a ekoso no ehu na wo chese ekwane aban nam so na wodi atua wo musika wodi ko aban no ebosia e de ma wo no no enya de a woni eje ho ne senti e na wo tue mu se ewo se ora na wo no mo a akoma homegie mu a wo mo ebobena e wa Australia wo mo ehwe wo mine sika semso ne nyina and say aban eyi omu emfiri domestic debt exchange program wo ye na eho ne nyina and say aban e de wonum ka eninti no kwan aban e be fa so etua no e na aban e cheso betua ne kakra e de ama wo mu na wei e na wonum akoma homegye mu e kire se e yade se emoa wo mu eninti be se na wotwe ene enna kakra ni e na wo mu e de e ye kire ahwehwe so a e wo asoye ho na wabra wo so afo hwesikasam so ken oforiata ekopi mu ewo ho a woni omu edi enhyiemu no wode to dwa wo kyese de wo mu eye bia no aban edi nkan edi ato wo no manim na aban ahyese nhyehyeye no wo mu eni so emfa ema wo no mo.
And about 15-16% of the pensioners actually tendered, but they chose to. The bulk of you did not, but I had indicated that it was voluntary, which means that we will honor those payments. What I tried to do in giving you the option was that about almost...
For way Kenneth Kuntun Kununku Oforiata. Still, Nana Mirafon and Kwakrafo after 8 days, they are say picketing, the Omo can Omontiasi, a bank Canada Somotias, and Ken Oforiata say, Onokra 1 2 or Masses or more picketing, but Pempesuya could win. Let's take you back 2014, 2016, 2017. Their course war and somehow do I can and Pempesuya Babedru.
The economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team. In fact, can anyone remember the NDC economic management team? I'm sure they themselves cannot remember who their economic management team was. Kugurudu.
The utility companies. What the fuck is going on? I want to go home.
Yes, social media bio. Yes, Facebook bio. Yes, Twitter bio. Yes, Google Plus bio. The best watch your man.
The group is made up of intellectuals, and they are raising concerns about failed leadership, untold economic hardship, and corruption as some of the challenges facing this country. These protesters converged here as early as 6 a.m. today, Republic Day, 1st July 2014, and they are calling on the President John Dramani Mahama to sit up and address the problems of this country.
There are basic things in life: water, health, okay, energy, education, okay, transportation. And the bad leadership has affected every part of it.
My business has dipped, the currency has depreciated. You can't even get it to buy. You can't pay our staff. You're thinking of laying off your staff. Now it's actually tough.
The total denigration of the office of the president, the total lack of respect that in bulk, in mass, individually, Ghanaians now experience when you talk about issues pertaining to governance, government, the president.
This thing that, you should show respect. The other man is stealing, he's killing you. Why do you have to show respect to him? In Brazil, what happened? If the young man called Sule Muntari was not brave enough to slap somebody, do you think we would have known what was going on? No.
For me, it was very reminiscent of the 70s during a champions time, which were really bad times where we all slept at the petrol station. So that's indication that, you really need to get up and talk about it, because we cannot, as a nation that deserves so much more, come to this level.
I'm working like a bull and I'm paying my taxes. The government got to work like a bull as well and make sure that my road is fixed, that I have electricity, that I have water. That is their job. It is not for me to tell the president how to fix the economy. If he didn't know how to fix the economy, why did he run for office?
Concerns in no particular order of importance are as follows. 1, the ever depreciating value of the cedi, constant increases in taxes, inefficient revenue collection, very poor road networks, constant increment in utility tariffs, frequent increase in the prices of petroleum products, government inability to make statutory payments timeously to schools, health facilities and other state institutions, government's inability to address labor-related issues on a timely basis, government's inability to exhibit decisive leadership in the fight against corruption, government's inability to kick out incompetent and non-performing appointees, the over-politicization of socio-economic issues along partisan lines. We have no doubt that this petition will receive the urgent attention it deserves, because we trust that your government is a listening government.
How would you respond to your critics who say that you don't have a message?
You know, when a government moves from 9 billion cedis worth of debt that we leave them in 2008, and by 2012 they are at 36 billion, and then by this year they are at 105 billion. How could there not be a message?
They talk about different economies.
You create
the economy of 9 billion, the economy of
no, I'm talking about the debt that they incurred.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they mentioned the economy of the 9 billion. Said that was a small economy. Now it's a huge one. No, and so they're taking more loans.
25% of debt to GDP, and now we are talking about 72% of debt to GDP.
I see.
So you have basically no fiscal space to do anything, and that's because you think you can borrow your way out of debt, which is not possible. And therefore the ideas of entrepreneurial creativity and really supporting businesses, not killing them with energy prices, inflation, devaluing currency. Those are the things that go to give economic freedom for people to operate. And I believe it is that we can bring back.
The currency's stability for these years, notwithstanding, you think it's a currency that's not doing well?
Well, the currency has not done well.
You have quite stable some few
It's been, yeah, I mean, these few months it has been quite stable, but you have moved from 1.2 to 4, unless you want to forget it, but that's real. You know, you can't brush it under the carpet. You have to accept that you came and met something and this is what you have done to it. Clearly, you don't have the competence to keep an economy that stays within a certain debt to GDP model that maintains a currency at a point in which businesses can work, that provides energy to make sure that there's productivity. I mean, the gross savings of the country has been depleted. When you run deficits of double-digit figures for about 3 years, there's no savings left. And then corporates are therefore not producing as much as they do, so they don't have savings. And individuals like you and I, you know, you get your paycheck and it's over before you can say jack. So then there's no give, and you think that you can borrow to continue. So now interest payment now constitute your second largest government expenditure. From 680 billion or so that you used to pay in 2008, you are now paying 10 billion. Okay, so you have created a situation in which things are difficult, where private sector is just aghast at what it should do, where productivity has shrunk, and therefore you are compelled to increase taxes. So it's just a very vicious cycle that you are in, and until you get a fresh look at it, you know, you are stuck and derailed.
Talking about the interest payment that you mentioned, your opponents are saying that what you're paying isn't all the loans that they took, and that the interest are some of the loans that your party took when you were in power some time ago.
Well, the issue for me, Bright, is if somebody says that, saying it is different from the fact.
Okay.
You know, if you were paying 680 million cedis and you are now paying, you know, literally 10 billion, which is, you know, for interest payment, gives you no room to maneuver.
I see.
And you want to blame somebody. And the question also becomes one of value for money.
There can any in opposition all about the economy, the state of affairs then, and then Pempenso Yabeduno. Let's just pause. Mention seven free minu Kumi honum. The Okatre Yeni 2016 and then the ACNA. How do you convince Ghana to believe and accept whatever is happening? Say, it's not your making, but he will be.
for the opportunity. First of all, my menchia Ghana for na memorial belated vows day. Bible say sa odo sonko na endra ye mu bebre ye che no among our lovers no and our loved ones no sa odo no ene ye betina na yes this odo no so ama oman no ye senior men Bible so say omo they take up positions no so they should have some quality of love no for the country so that they will do right by the people. Before I go to your topic, I think it's important for us to, and it's even in connection with what we are talking about. One of the first things I want to talk about, and say, yeah, in focus politics, the propaganda, machinery, politics, use. It's good to make promises. It's important for us as a people to understand, say, governance and politics is a serious business. And governance and politics is a serious business because it's about human lives. It's about human lives. And it say, ebimu ebetna TV so ekika de omo pe a na obi betna na e man opportunity say on kasa no kasa enye de ope na eso oka ho ba I say odwen obeka say the whole circumference of Ghana asana ubie wano kasa the bonu beka say be measured in your speeches and in your thoughts. Yeah, Adentina make us asemi integrity is what Ghana your politics you hear. And then we wanna obi send video bi mame penny bi wo TV so kase obi a o pushing for a certain or as a year campaign among a candidate be na all your campaign among a candidate no or kase niema ana your friend saying host ni buza na say na niema or candidate ni ka say obey no and I promise or the man no said you buza me say MPP a promise e the man yintimi nye e den ti na yintimi nye ana you see instead of speaking about the matter no or pursue creative scenario be say yeah MPP no as MPP as a political party no obi na sacrifice ye ana ekika nsem and ye deba power senior politics is speeches and actions but ye can integrity your speeches must match with your actions and your actions must also match with your speeches so obetina ha senior me betina ha na me ka say who vote me e wa Adenta constituency na me buy you show we me the bema of free what will show my integrity ne say me obi a ye friend osiade oyo na say me kan bibi na me say we me kan bibi keke na ema nyamiadum asema me kan no eto Ghana fo akoma so na me bana me ntimi achieve saade na I have failed as a person and your whatever sacrifice no it's not important so do and you see because will be dignity edge tremana someone sacrificed himself it's not propaganda it's not insulting an opposition or discrediting anybody and we must understand this thing clearly me who Asembia na me one of these older people in MPP edin komo and o kan asembi or say we decided to become like a party that we are not. It's not just about winning power. The foundation of MPP is not just about winning power. And it is important for people to have that at the back of their mind. So per party ni ya. Party ni ya nyese ye pesi ye wini power keke. We want to make a difference. One that affects people's life.
Why do you believe say your party lie to Ghanaians?
No, it's not about and even it's far from that. But when you make assumptions, you see, yeah, bano, you can see a bay nima bibre. Yes, we've been able to do some. We've not been able to do some. Into Ghanaians in the spirit of accountability, no. Umbe busa say, a day any day tina unti minye sadi we. And now, is it say you are throwing dust in our eyes? And so ukasa ube kanche Ghana for no and who here? Because in crafting your message or in speaking to people, no, ni nyina ye campaign ni biu. Ni nyina ye say Ghanaians are watching your character. You know, a bit ma say, ye di edwuma bi ahye mensa ana me ko pay edwuma bi. E di edwuma ne ma me ka say metime wie edwuma ne nyina by 6 o'clock. But you see, when you go onto the reality, no, me who say edwuma yi ka omo ma me be 3 hours bi kan ho a na metime di ewie edwuma na me ka say me.
To asia e de na ma de wo ka ye o party for Kenofriata, Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, Isankuma, all of them, Gilda Adumina.
See, now I remember.
Diana, Domoka, you know. Diana, see, Quaya, and ne Omentumia, yet Yamaho Domocasetia, no mobile Omentumian crackran.
Well, see, I always tell people, say, the reality on the ground is always different from what you project. Okay. You can make a projection, say, may you say, any say. But every time and season, any day deba, what you say, and even in Krofwa, oh yeah, also new mobile jumano crano. There are people that in the beginning they showed a certain level of commitment, but when the real work comes, the question is, would they show that commitment? So, we say external factors, ne, sa new money COVID, Ukraine, ne, sa new money ba. But it's just a part of it. We can't blame. We don't blame everything that has happened on Russian and Ukraine war. We should have been able to project, say, anything can happen to our economy. So what kind of economy were we building? Are you getting what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, yes, some parts will have their blame to take. But how have we managed the crisis? In managing the crisis, did we do proper broader consultation? I don't know, death exchange program hereby. I was telling someone, say, you see, we need to speak to some matters. President Bema's speech is in crime. I can say, pensioners need individual bondholders and count. So you ask yourself, say, and then a buyer, the president ne can you change it. You change it, were we able to speak to Ghanaians at that same level of president and Ghanaians kasa
Many Ghanaians, yes, many Ghanaians. So I get your point, but many Ghanaians believe, say, since you are able to change the economy from economy I inherit, to make us say better, but what they are worse than the inherit, it means you lied your way to power. And your actions and your words and match.
So, senior, no, say, yeah, fairness idea. We have to take statistics from every year you take it, from the time I take it power. Make I say, there has been situations beyond our control. From 2017, we saw the economy. 2017, we saw the economic growth we had. 2018, we saw the economic growth we had. 2019, and so year of return, we saw the stability in the economy. But the question is, what went wrong? The problem is not about how we manage the economy, but I always say that, I always tell people, say, why don't we look at how we've managed crisis? Has it been the best? Is it something that we should be talking about? Because, senior, Say obika say yen to COVID and yen to COVID engineer. Then I ask myself, say, okay, see now, COVID time, no, what was our productivity level? COVID time, nose marks. Not before COVID, cry, na me into nose marks or my brabunda. COVID time, na nose marks 5 cities. 5 Ghana cities. During the COVID time, you free COVID APA, you know, nose marks, 50 pesos, and no crowd yam. Senior, Ediania na me pay, Gary alone can 6 cities. Cincinnati, Ediania also pay Gary, and Gary to me, said the Gary is shoot to call no wrong Gary, near turn about 40 cities.
And I'm trying to say
that is the question. Near man ni be a course, no, it me a bit me bar for man. Senior, during COVID time, no adam for beer na Ukrainian free abroche, Ukrainian free China. No, seen fleet at $1,500 from China. During COVID time, obi am peso ye juma, obi esro yare no, or one of them call $6,000. And you are importing things. Indeed, we've had issues of imported inflation. But the in America say the question is how have we managed our crisis? Yes, this is not what we promised the good people of Ghana. But how are we managing the crisis? If we find ourselves in it, how are we even communicating?
Is government managing the situation or the situation managing the government?
I'll tell you frankly, sir, government is doing its best to manage the situation.
But in this case, the situation is rather managing the government.
I wouldn't agree with you on that. Because, senior, Osha in Shishabia government, you see, say, government war, Akumapa, so baby. I mean, you don't sit here and say, the president. What's it into I mean, to see, I can tell you on authority, say, all government projects, it's under review because government wants to cut down on expenditure. Our problem now ain't your IMF. The problem is your IMF, a balance of payment.
Those projects now buying so over costs under review, no, in whose interest and a benefit? Is it the same people?
It's in the interest of we the Ghanaian people.
And to say, oh, baby, sit down, mammy. Now, madam, now catch him say, so watch the winter down where are you helping me? Are you oh boy me and answer where me there?
Senior Patricia, me say government is reviewing all its projects. We a reviewer. It is say yeah share niema we nyina ye review. Ye say we if we forgo this as a opportunity cost. If we forgo this, we can still move on without it. If we forgo this, it will not help. Inti ye maintaining na ye maintaining no niema ben ye bit my ye ama we are more sustainable. So review no is not about say government to niema mu. Say maybe say agenda 111 na government AC hospital. Say district ni bi wo na eben can we do say okay district ba konfa district mi nu ana mi say bia ebimbe no omo betima fa hospital ba ko ana. Some of these things now, yes, said the imrepemuneska economy comes back to its stand now. You say other hospitals.
But for 2022 budget to 2023 budget allocation to the presidency has been increased by 82 billion Ghana cedis. So at the end, say what cut the cost?
Well, all those things are under review. All those things,
so the government review 2023 budget.
They are review, and not just the budget, the component of the budget on expenses. On expenses, what government needs now is revenue. Say this kabeba kumama obieni aji.
Okay, wrap up in 1 minute.
So, senior, asema na mekana kaneno, na meke si sudi ase. Uye o pese o kan bibi na. Say all the support to candidate and now Bibia. Don't throw dust into people's eyes. Say, as a candidate ever can and maybe no. Now he was sacrificing himself. See now, Ubetima sacrificing, but even Cain and Abel, Cain and Abel almost sacrifice almost yeah no ba akoko osoro na ba akoko ofom. So it's not every sacrifice and a sacrifice. Boa. Yeah, bibia, let's think about the good people of Ghana.
Okay.
Don't use your nyansa nya media ma no and be say unim nyansa sin obi enti o ka bibi ewu from abi egu obi ani so.
Okay. Abutia uguso asend no messages for brother pa making can dey na ma. Chachas. Let me hear from you.
Chachas.
Government then or Ghana then versus Ghana now.
Samere very aho. And I want the most difficult job in there. How to defend this incompetent, this shameless government. Ajuma din wo Ghana ne. And this will be defending MPP party. According to say what this sono eshe panier to crew. They say MPP communicators one. Umenya was a minimum crew. The doctors and preppers on mesa man for minimum crew from 2023 to 2024.
I don't do me
because the more they would kasa sa nya minimum crew because they can talk at the end of the day can asem na wie no hu asem ni tin hu ne nan. On says and how they akwala ku school or exams how the terminal report and a ba and in them people or more report in the same and then kwala yo mu school say you grade you me say omo ni no ma feli ana me say senka na nado danko akufado senka ha Japan ha Korea nke also hange no no kunu for failing ka Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ha Saudi Arabia nke say chi no ye frem mra bi fe no sharia ye twa na chimba ye de sa na ntwie agi no ne pano ne ke ye twa ye de twa chimba sa ke say sharia di no ke say kono forata onu amu okofa nkuradu no no kunu for failing us. Uhwe goodwill. Uhwe see the Ghana for eso so MPP party we so. So omo de ya agenkwa na nadu sika yendi. Na nadu the incorruptible leader. Na the cansem there. You see to the extent say pano kura na e dia tu na nadi na naba. Naba bread. Me say, she say bibia ama John Dramani mama ye bronsam. Na John Dramani mama posterity will judge him. Dachi dankwama na eka John mama asema chere. Dachi dankwama. And then unim say yeti hey. Na nadu dankwa kufodu ye campaign ekofa dokunu. Eche say dokunu ye 1 cedi. Esa and the ones are docuna and nadu. Then go kura 1 cedi your mama time now will say it's sano. And the sad docuna the same size and 4 Ghana cedi will bukum. 4 Ghana cedi. Don't even talk docuna sadi 2 cedi 50 pesos. Now go to sadi and the sadi bakunam 12 cedi 15 Ghana cedis. And the bema sadi 15 Ghana cedis. Your mama time near to bema sadi in 2 cedi 50 pesos. Me won Kofi Kapito ka sembi. Ose se penyini. Onim nyansa ose ka chenzo onim nyansa. Wodi o na oboye. Ose se sule mutari sorry ya ni bufu ya obubo GFF na sum no. Eno na ma o de say Black Star on sanity ba ho no. Nti de o ka chere nse de na nado danko agufadu yi. Na me chachas me tia na me ka chere nado danko agufadu se bi de o ye no. Enye nyansa se ma me nka hwe nkyere. Na nadu danko akufado 78 years man ye kalipo ane enum na 50 pesos o sorry ye na also benum kalipo ni bi na okoyi kalipo bi na anu na ochiche bi man nurse for and the kalipo na do 4 Ghana cedis na nadu danko akufado. This is the kind of leader o ma fana ba betu yeso na nadu danko akufado wow his arrogance aya na obi kan say MDC ni MPP die ye ni na ye pe eye den na yetimi yepe the hypocrites anyansafo ni kroma nti obi antimi nka ensuo we 2 Ghana cedis 2 cedis this water 2 Ghana cedis ya no ensuo we nobody is talking obi anka hwe and the China girls ni timi gina omofu nanim edidi na nado danko akufado omo so omakasa tie penyin de na nado danko akufado ye na I'm telling you penyini nyesa Penyini timi nye sada. Because the man doesn't care about us. On me Ghana for me see Ghana ya nhwe ya. Ya be abusia ene ya be sane ya wi. He doesn't care. On muye on respect Ghana for on Ethiopia. Nti me ebe me yase omi obi be ka kire me say ye kasa tia penyini. Penyini so nye sa. Nti se penyini ye sa de na he. Se penyini ubedi nkwala agora ye de udi agoro. So you ye penyini na won trase man nkwala mba ho man tufu. Na so uba be di nkwala agoro dia. Nkwala so be dey e de ubedi agoro. Then I don't think Zananadu Dankwa Akufo-Addo is a good leader. He's the one of the worst bad leaders. You say, Omunya Kokasa, I say, we are in crisis. We are in crisis. Omu can't say, we are in crisis. No, a fancy be, a kunimdia debi, we are in crisis. Everybody, so you nipa, so your mind, you are bound to face challenges in life. Anybody say we get sick. Anybody say we have financial challenges. And my mind facing these challenges. It is about how you come out of your challenges. That makes you a good leader. Hey, Rollins facing a challenge. President Kufuor facing a challenge. Atamus facing a challenge. John Dramani Mahama facing a challenge, of which it was doomed so. And then South Africa. Oman now say a national disaster. Doom so ni bia hiti omo. Omo say na national disaster to omo declare say a national disaster. But John Dramani Mahama wan fa doom so na mfiri bole bambo in ba presidency o. Obe two doom so no. Because doom so si 1984. And a jashishie 1983 jashishie na say be ka ho. E ba ya be si Kufuor so. E ho no mo ko fa so so mo ko bompae na nsuo ni nyama no. Sankufo yi the incompetent bibia empire bo. Bibia nyame be ye. A baby see John Dramani Mahama so or accept challenge no so would do so. But in them now we are in crisis. Na COVID, young kwana COVID chi could divorce bianche no. Niger bianche no. Nigeria bianca mo. Ndi young kwana COVID chi. Aya mo come say or say COVID intia. Yes, are the stable way. John Dramani Mahama 2016 predicted in 2017 our economy will grow by 8%. Due to the prudent investment that John Dramani Mahama because our oil fields or the bar on board. And no, and 2017 GDP growth of 8%. No, Nanadu Dankwa Akufo-Addo they know nothing to it. What is that Nanadu Dankwa Akufo-Addo? In November 2017, or appointing the DC for Nawi. South Africa no form on the government. Until oil then on your GDP growth of 8%. Investment na John Dramani Mahama ankasa no inaugurate Accra Digital Center no mu kai before say be to 2016 aba no ka say there one year into 2017 the GDP growth will be 8%. World Bank money na predict here and from 2017 to 2018 and Satan na do Dankwa Akufo-Addo one district one factory one village one dam what certain the government didn't be bia wie no GDP growth about 5.4%. 2019 now about 3.9. Udi city depreciation about 2016 it was 9.6. 2017 it was 4.7. 2018 it was 8.4, and then 2019 it was 12.4%. And when almost 17 member committee be said, "Omo kwa hwehwe kwan fa so city ni depreciate no." Satan no COVID in my some mess way ni na COVID in my and to send them will be tracing. No, or Casa and Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo ni NDC ye pe NDC ni MPP ni na ye pe. We are not the same and we can never be the same. Let's stop the hypocrisy and let's say that this government has failed us. But one, these people doesn't care about us because the GDP growth and about 4%. Debt to GDP across 100%. Until ne say kase yesisa Ghana fu na yesika bibia de akotua ekakwa intimintua. And there Adenta Kumi to the 200 or the 20,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah, check Kanama Obiazo Obiantia, Upompo, the cat 200 million, no the cat. and they check Ghana ka udi ka 200 million ndi mrofo no ba na nso mbechi a slave trade ni de anya ba because ya de omuka ye ntimi ntua ikunya ne and the inflation and then 53.3% inflation niema boa ye din John Dramani mama 53.6%
I reduce from 54.1.
Thank you. John Dramani mama inflation 2016 year ko na 15.4 to 53. Nobody is talking. 15.4 to 53.6. Abba. What a solid team. What a solid team. Samira, make up some coin on him.
Pacho.
Now me boy.
No, me Pacho.
Oh, Hunter.
Don't go anything personal.
Hunter, they want personal. You see, the leader is naked. One who Goldado.
That
said, Nanado.
Chachas, what say? What's this year now? What say? MPP and NDC near the same.
Sana Mikaya.
And it's a more person, and I say Munye the same. That's also called person. Why the difference? I'm just asking pay.
Hunter, Jomudia John Dramani Mama Committee.
And to me, pay.
Midio, Eba, Omuni Fina by the team.
And to me, pay.
Joma ye. And nada Mudia ye. Godado at the year to him say the president is naked. Yet to Kroma near Fred Kaya ye for Hubal for John Mama. Yet to Kroma yo, no more Fred John Mama. Yamau dum so, you see a mama. You deep up your time, some go with Srema, go cannon to you. And I do don't go Kufano. This weekend, Ojina Bachi and Diasa. Ghana for your channel. No, Dina Bachi, no, sir.
You will hear now.
I have seen Ghana no crassa. Nay, to Kroma. Now, who twenty? Beat him for high tension pool. I want to do Obianca so Kroma, Reverend Marty and your compo. Dopa Mamimbo did not sorry for Bebaka me attack Presby Church.
2 minutes.
Nanadu Danko Kufadu. Level of arrogance. Yet her, your mama, or ye saint. And I'm saying, the 2024 campaign where you know West Ark. Nanadu Obia Unsan Nanadu and a Faru. Ah, no, what can't Israel for what they are saying, Kwasumu. I am Kupon Suma Moses. So, Umbra, no, be every Kwasumu for God the promised land. Or say, Pharaoh, release my people. Pharaoh Nanadu, release us. Now may come and Nanadu Danko Kufado Atiasi. Indonesia. Kwanya school for a match here. Echo for so president Sahote. A money free Akunyasono. Kwanya business woman or say Sri Lanka. Now we are more man for that presidential bed. So I'm for that presidential swimming pool now. I'm president. And now don't go to watch out. Now Tunisia school near Kuala and now don't go for the year campaign. Obi edi petrol guni ti so say no. Eme tu na now you just watch out. On to me fire datching to we da. Me de bia meka. Me a ho kira ye komu no. Nka me nya hwe Valentine wo. Chocolate we. Ye nyen kuro bia so. Ghana ye koko na ye chocolate we. Ye ku and that chocolate we 15 Ghana cedis.
We.
Komisa. Kobis say.
Wait, just back up say. This size.
O box not on say. They send you 25 Ghana cedis. And bra, they were selling it 25 Ghana cedis.
Citizen, box near.
Wait.
50. On the street is that expensive?
Winning. And Ram call a total mat here way in China. And you made me coin and me tall series back. And I'm told meat pie. And Ketua me, meat pie back here 5 cities. It's 10 cities. And a series, it's about 28 Ghana cedis. And a meat tall chocolate 4. Let me coffee. I say, I want once when you crowd of sadness in the coffee. Me a bill at the man was 159 Ghana cedis. See, me tell me what I'm how is it about this chocolate? But my dear, because it's a share receipt and say how much each item cost. When 15 Ghana cedis. I'm telling you.
Now the damn for the audio condom.
And citizen I so watch a 45 Ghana cedis.
I'm telling you, this chocolate here in Chroma.
Oh, Yamisha.
This chocolate here in Chroma, condom here D Valentine. Condom na John Dramani mama di ba Chroma ni dey free no. Condom na nka ukura one seed we talk condom. And the only condom bo. And the condom. Back
and not what they say.
And not what they say.
It's very serious. And I'm telling you, I saw Granos. It is so expensive to the state.
And I'm what they say.
I hear from Banche. What is happening in Ghana? And yes, serious. What is happening in Ghana and then? And the condom crack, I only bet to and then because of ultimate talk condom, because now you don't go for making sure that condom why a day.
Okay. Did I say?
John Dramani Mama about 2024. John Dramani Mama, that's uncle who needed it. The Pharaoh, Nanado Danko Akufado. The Moses, John Dramani Mama will come and rescue us 2024. Don't be deceived. Say, MPP party has anything to offer.
Okay.
They are a bunch of clueless, and they are incompetent, and they are so corrupt.
Okay.
Citizen. Almost campaign message.
Okay. Citizen, Ghana then, Ghana now.
Until in about 3 weeks, Ghana will be 66 years. 66 years of independence. Ghana, the so-called land of freedom, land of milk and honey, has become land of debt. A land that we have been rendered as deeper junk status. A land that we are being referred to as restricted default. We are in a state of insolvency and bankruptcy. We are in a state where Omana Nkayenya 66 years. This year no yentum yentue yeka. Na yan embrewofo na nkokofo a nkoede yehwe won na yankopon ne mbra wa hye won de wo tirinwi no oba yeyi no oba pan. Sisa ya che wa hye ya butuem. Na yetutu wo tirinwi. Ndo nkokrafo na mbrewofo ye de wa hye ya mutuem ni ye twetwu wo tirinwi ye tutu. Instead of we looking after them well, nanka wonyina naturally wo tirinwi no mpa no. We are giving them by force haircuts. And we are not ashamed that at the time where Ghana, it may be 66 years, we have our pensioners picketing at the Ministry of Finance. And the finance minister is asking them, I don't understand why you are even still here. You see, Unto, if you meet 10 people on the street, 10 of them will tell you that Ghana is hard. This is the only time where Ghanaians, whether MPP, GCPP, NDC, whichever party that you find yourself in, they are saying Ghana is hard. We are in a state where the president himself told us that we are in dire situations. The finance minister is saying that the economy will crash. But I keep saying, this is my first time of seeing a government that has been so inconsistent in their narratives. Waka A, no why B. Waka da shostra, or they shufum. Everything that they say, they don't follow it. So we are in a state where we just don't know what we are doing. Sure. This is a government that told us that we are a proud nation.
Finance Minister.
A proud nation. No matter what, we will never go to the IMF because it has dire consequences. 2 weeks or 2 days down the line, we were at IMF. And now the same person who said we will never, no matter what, never go to the IMF is telling us that if we don't get an IMF bailout by March, the economy will crash. What sort of inconsistency is this? We had a whole president of our nation come to stand in front of us to tell us that individual bondholders and pensioners will not be touched. There will be no haircut. The following day, now they are looking at 85% or whatever people have signed up to it. It's and it's voluntary and whatever. I mean, this is the country we find ourselves in. This is the country that we find ourselves in. A country where your people are crying on national TV left, right, center. Last week, original, metro, I mean, what is this? A country where we have not declared National Day of Mourning, but yet everybody is crying.
Including yourself.
Sammy, we have a country there, and whilst we were crying, the president was at a wedding and dancing and watching the Asa girls watching. Whilst your people were crying. I mean, so sometimes I'm like, where did we get it wrong as Ghanaians? Where? And you see, there is a generic pusher. The kind of vibe I get scared from where I sit. Because you see, people keep saying this, the Ghanaians are not angry enough. Ghanaians are not angry enough. When Kofu Taka the man, some no Ghana for you enough because me and I yet war, I do, I Kufa do not can Brian, or your mobile uncle. We have forgotten that if we don't take the necessary steps today, any government that will come after him, no, Obeka China there, Numunsu train your pay. Because abena
tighten your belt.
Why ye? Hunto? Ya tighten your belt. Ya numunsa train your pair. Me ye fly dondon. I de kosheko. How many times should we keep drinking water? And it's not like it's coming any cheaper. For the first time we are in a country, ya sorry, no, within 1 day, our exchange rate now, what's in there? A Mahama time no ye medonyame exchange rate no echirobaye waji same exchange rate within 1 day we had the dollar rise from 8 Ghana cedis to 14 Ghana cedis 50 pesos within 1 day. We were on your show at 9-10 now weeks. I predicted that by December we will be getting to 14 or 15 the morning now you do 14 Ghana cedis. I mean, so where are we as a country? And when we say this today, we have other people who make us feel that we are naysayers. We are Sambalat and Tobias. And call us there. But as we speak, what actions in a government or undertaker, there is hope. What actions? After 66 years of independence, we are getting IMF, World Resident Advisor at Bank of Ghana. After 66 years of independence, oh, Tammy, your motorway. The same person who in opposition told us there, all you need to do is tow all your roads, and you have enough money to build all the infrastructure you have in this country. I mean, last week I was at Ridge Hospital. I was sad. Ridge Hospital emergency unit. You do one. Other patients who were ahead of me, what was happening was that if you want a wheelchair, now we be so there. You need bed. It say if you are okay to sit in the wheelchair, so that we attend to you whilst you are there. Now you are on admission, but you'll be in a wheelchair. Sign this document. So people were signing their death warrants.
Rich.
Anybody who says I'm lying, I mean, should visit Ridge Hospital emergency unit tomorrow. Ridge Hospital. And we are in a country where they told us we are building Agenda 111. And they say they are doing the second phase of Ridge Hospital, which was left to you by your predecessor that you called incompetent. You see, they've made, sometimes I have counsel by NDC cry where them. I understand. NDC have their flaws. They are not saints. But the actions of this government has made NDC more than saints. Because Sabi, Ekweko Bubula General Hospital, and you still have hospitals in Accra that are suffering because they don't have beds. And my pregnant women are sitting in wheelchairs and delivering. Equal, some of our schools, we still have schools where in there and the payment wing. In the news, what's the president's commission? ICT lab, kindergarten, ICT, you said they work with kindergarten, ICT,
ICT center.
Hey.
Oh, what is wrong with that?
You see, it's like we don't attach seriousness. Even this, I mean, all this while, the president has said nothing about this individual bondholders and pensioners. Well, even the president won't come once.
I'm told this was someone Kenofriata.
Someone on one say or one on it president that would even come.
No, yes, I mean, you see, you came to tell us the direction that there will be no haircut. You say a clear direction, a policy direction by president. Then your ministers and your whatever are giving different interpretations. It can't French train. He spoke English, and now what train. The ministers what train. I mean, Sammy, I don't want to talk about the state of Ghana then and now. The reason being that, you see, when I do that, then I want to glorify certain things. Because the state of Ghana then, Sabi, so ye mayan na ya wa tonye bebre Senkai, we wouldn't Ghanaians wanted more development. They better than how it was. But baby agent, see, we win yasi. No one says we tambona, don't know what the ship. So we were on a staircase where you are training if yasi, I'm a buffoon. No one says we tambona, don't go. They are good to. No, why can't you do? So what do we want us to do? And I keep asking myself there, okay, so what was the intention of this government? Everything else apart from the economy is in shambles. Look at Galamsey, the rate at which Galamsey is going. Look at the issues boiling up in Boku, where we have a sitting president saying nothing about it. It's as if we are on autopilot. It's not just one aspect of the education sector. Look at our education sector now. No mun more about. Nancy, no, Senator, I'm the one announced that we a BEC for computer placement. Yeah.
Over 30%, 69% any placement.
Teachers are watching Form 1 for they don't even know when they are resuming school. What's if you? Teachers are they only teach Form 1s, SSS, Form 1s. They don't know when school is resuming. First, September, at least SS full school. Now, parents cannot even plan as to when they should expect there. One more former Boko school into what your savings be what at all. How do we run a country like this? Where you can't plan anything. Everything is free for all, like Bibia Bazaar.
Wrap up for me.
And the kind of impudence in this country now is serious. I saw a whole attorney general. CDD, I rebut you because of the letter you wrote to the auditor general. And the words that the attorney general used.
Because I need a second part. I first batch of messages now. I say, please, good evening. And why are you allowing the MPP guy on your studio? You are losing your listeners and viewers if you continue allowing the MPP guy on your TV station. Ike, Edifri, Asin Sultan on the Abba. Very good evening, Captain Hunter. I swear the hardest job on the face of the globe is being MPP communicator. I still wonder why they are still defending their government of their recklessness of faith at the free Abeka Junction. Where's this Same? Committee. Same, the MPP guy is just asking his own questions and answering them. The MPP guy is just asking his own questions and answering to them. Please put more pressure on him. Tell him to tell the truth. Put pressure on him to tell the truth of it. Dr. Mawad Bamian on one set question man on the marking scheme. It's a good evening, Sammy. I like the MPP boy in the studio. He's a fine boy, but he's in a wrong party and should not destroy his future by defending what the dwarf thieves are doing. I'm Emmanuel from Kotobabi down. We say this MPP boy is speaking wisdom than those knowledgeable degree holders and so-called lawyers in his party. I, Emmanuel from Kotobabi down. Well, good evening, Mr. Hunter. I believe that Dr. Bawumia would have been a good use to the country and humanity if he had chosen comedy for his career. Where Bau Medina UBH. I don't know if you're about. Oh, but wouldn't say economy number. And there's some of political shows in this country, some of the popular political shows in this country are turning to entertainment and comedy. Yes. That's the wonders of this economy. Mr. Hunter, good evening to you all. The state of affairs in Ghana is very bad. The MPP government did not manage the economy prudently, considering the fact that they receive huge financial support from many financial institutions in Ghana and across the world. I hope one day young MPP men like the one in your studio will take over from this Nanado group, and we don't expect them to behave corruptible and dishonestly like them. Moses Kaswani Deni. I want to congratulate the MPP communicator for his confused defense. I wonder how he's evenly trying to defend this government when his own family members are crying. This is not about NDSO MPP. Somebody should tell the president to wake up and listen to advice. The president has totally failed everyone, but he can still correct things from further damages if he listens to advice. Isaac Deborah Edifrey Achim Aprokumasi Anode Aba. Very good evening, Hunter. The NDC has said all that I love. Or the NDC has said all that I love to say. Thanks to him, but please tell Nana that he's a failure and just empty. Tony Ashaman. Very please tell the NDC man to talk in low tone. We are listening to him. I'm Evans from Entakufu Taadino de Abose. We say I like the citizen guy. He's very gentle. Tell him to join NDC. I'm Evans from Takufu Takrade and the way every Abba. But you bit me as no messages at the Abre. Now I'm sure Facebook comment. Bakumi Unubi. Na yanko sometimes almost say no comment in the basa na yankaya na ase you know montini ye open nyawo oh na me see me back on Facebook comment so na oh is there okay, let me read from here. Let me read your comment from here. Okay, first one from Yenuya Positive Change Medina. Or say, Yenuya Positive Change. Yeah. Or say our current economic crisis as a result of envy, hate, greed, thievery, and wanton usage of our taxpayers' money. Closing down local indigenous banks, needless high taxes, reckless borrowing just to seal. It is what has brought us here today. Yenuya Augustine first say good job, bro. Keep it up. Yenuya Mami Lydia USA or say greetings Oto and everyone and that's it. Yenuya Mami was posterity with judge. Yenuya Tiku say watching you live from where Alan Camp, Alan the People's Choice. I don't know. Atiku Kroya was say greet my boss Kumi for me. Yenuya Steven Anderson said, good evening, Sammy. In fact, I strongly believe Akufo-Addo and Ken Ofori-Atta are purely into occult. That is why they have no respect for anyone. And I think we have to sell Ghana to Elon Musk in America, share the money, and leave the country because where Nanado has taken the country, it will take us 100 years to bounce back. Mame Achuma Mansa, one woman demolition army. Or say, we the NDC have to insult Nanado the same way the MPP did to Mahama. Yenuya Ekunfosi, please tell the government that Ghanaians are quiet for a reason, and when we rise, the country cannot contain us. Yenuya Chre, or say, Ghana doesn't need the MPP ever again. Okay, now let's go. 4 minutes. Senior Atuna Washa say about Attorney General asking Auditor General to withdraw or say reporting a premature. 4 minutes.
Sammy, first of all, the Attorney General is supposed to ensure that government does not go contrary to our laws. The Attorney General is supposed to advise the government and all governmental institutions that will be a wage Frenching per our 1992 Constitution. And also to strengthen independent institutions and make them more effective and efficient in delivering their mandate. However, this Attorney General's action is preposterous. In fact, it's illogical. I just don't find the right words for him because the actions, or what ma katasishana yepeda ye fight, I mean, urukum them fight. The reason is that it's clear. See, first of all, are you going contrary to our laws? Because he was quoting Article 182 of the Constitution, giving him mandate to advise. But Article 1875. It's so clear on what we should do with the Auditor General's report. once you send the document, you see, dami yama yo ye, dami yama na where they won't come yama the man publish ye man ye. Only thing that people are leaking information. MPP abandon leakage of information. Wa papa, se realize that. Because some of the people in the party themselves are so angry and not happy with some of the things going on. It's only in MPP government. Look at going into the election, how they were videoing and showing us dollars. People were hiding. Is it not the same government appointees? You know, one drivers what was going. If you move house now, they what shish one if you. Because they are not happy with what is going on. How can the Attorney General be advising? And even when CDD tells him, ne on withdraw, ne letter no, he calls it's absurd. These are the words from the Attorney General. At this time, a government appointee, but the Auditor General is supposed to be independent, not subject to anybody's authority. In fact, the Auditor General has a mandate higher than the Attorney General. Because so if he is subject to the authority of other people, it means he can be influenced. And that is not good in our fight against corruption. No wonder in our corruption perception index, we are not performing well.
Okay.
It's the abandoning push the up and off fight catastrophe. This one is a flaw.
Touch us. 4 minutes.
On say, okay. Auditor General, we now say meaning now. An act of arrogance. Arrogance. I say on state institutions. O Felisa na buying the also. Well, when I do don't go for the moment I be sure say o kasa na obuafu. Ati for I almost fan me say at times make kasa na my voice about it. I feel it. I feel it. Me hwe bose o mo sheye. Na nsem o mo kafa adwo mama to di na tem. Na nne de o mo aba be ya. O kasa, o de yawdie bi na kasa. O kasa o de agufuo bi na kasa. Enye sese bi ye mu ade o. Enye won wasa akwala keto abeka che na nado danko abuto o hia ni ti na de akoji sikaduru. Because ne see the money mo si aye hye no. Who ni akwala timi ka che na nado danko say you are not my president. Na nado tini so de enko de koji sikaduru be nya sikare pa. Because to be very honest, what nado danko akufadu is doing wow. Sebi a man paying here LA primary and yes they won't govern a country like this. And ne COVID sika be more disikano. COVID sika ni ya chadi. Nan the Auditor General anyamia dum wabetre say yade ni kuye no na MPP fo di sika. Yade na omo boss afo hene say na de sa ho kire we abre ye no. Omo di sika no. What kind of government is this? What did Nanu Sika? What did the Sika? What I did that Sika? And then what Boka was and the opposite Kana Wabono? Opposite Pussy can come out by Fufubi or Beba 2030, 2035. Now, Wunya Quinsanko Bobo D. What kind of government is this? What kind of useless government is this? And then asori dan kura yesi amanya kupon kura ni yewiska. Tese abi before omama bronsam adwuma ye fufufu na tese omo bronsam jam no won ebe tese ombe kono animonyam so ombe ko ma na ye fefefe enye mo say o test bi ka say o ye sure say omo ye occult. Because you can't just think far. These people, to say, if sende, so what you shall Bronsama, just look for Nanado's government and you are okay. That is what I can say. Because where Omone Bronsam different being because Omuni Yanu Musubani Mubibia Omuyano, actually say, Omuni Abadoye, Omuni the human skin in them. Shekeno Furata, Kwa Faso Bekasatre, 60, 70 years people. Shekano Faso Bekasatre. Shade Godfrey Dame Kika. So ma di esika na Auditor General about publishing no. Say ehun ni kwan say ko publishing. O kama ye Ghana for eti. O Godfrey Dame the taxpayer pays you. Nanado Danko, when is the last time I would Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo? I would defend no. When is the last time we yiska eko makola koto atade shey? When is the last time Nanado Danko we use sika koto gobe? We work hard. We work like bulls. Ye juma. Ye dey ye juma na ye tia tax mam no mu discount. Ye wi anoma sa be kan kwase asema kire. Ye wi anoma kan abote sama kire me. This MPP party. Ye bia ho. Se metise omo kasa. Ana metise MPP ni bi wo TV so no kasa. De bia me filise honto ma ye bone atia Nyankopon.
Any radem fa bone.
What's a mesre bone facha ni nyame de me bone cheme. This MPP party, they are the devil of this time.
Kumi, fire away.
Hey, senior. Is
it true, sir, to be NPP communicator these days?
Senior, well, you and Ejuma Edimpa will be asking me, say, oh, can be Ato Ama Natobi. Akumemna na kumematon ni yemie. Senior, Auditor General. Auditor General report. Auditor General, any Attorney General. I've said it and I'll say it again. Again, needless say, Attorney General. Etro Saleta. Senior, I always tell people, say, corruption, it starts from perception. Intuition, Afro barometer. Now, Umbeka say corruption perception. Never do things, especially when you're in a peculiar situation. Men may be for different perception and family bound. I believe, say, Attorney General could have called the Auditor General and said, yes, maybe it wasn't right. No, so I can say, okay, this is our standard procedure, sir. Yes, no. Then it could have resolved the matter. So, maybe a troll letter.
Has it ever happened in the history of Ghana? Say, Auditor General be published.
And I make us say,
Attorney General commanding.
Well, I've not followed all cases, but when the first time, BBC. You see, there's a difference between classified documents and public documents. This is a public. Oh yeah, I don't know. Citizen at all.
How can you withdraw it when I have a copy?
Maybe citizen at all. Station be na make say. It's a public document. Ebeko Public Accounts Committee. For Public Accounts Committee to call various people and ask them questions. How do I, a normal citizen, follow the issue if it's at the Public Accounts Committee if I don't have a copy of the document? So we don't have copies of the document. How do we know the questions that the Public Accounts Committee, which is led by the minority? How do we follow, say, asema ye busano no, ye mischievous and ye mischievous. So you see, there are some things, internet, me start here, no, question abusa, me kofa baby and sana meba. Yamao power, Yamao power. You have to use all sort of nyansa. School nyansa, if you nyansa. I tell people, the law was not, we human beings, we are not made for the law. The law was made for us. Into a drew baby na your standard practices. Any law no embo a bra. We have to know, say, let's change it. Their practices be we show even in our constitution, I don't think there are amendments. Because there are some things in the constitution, now you the projection and now you can say, but go through reality of the matter, no. You can't follow the law to the letter. See now, me last a year as an yako. Me say, Omuamudo MPP no. Yanka who say, we are not a party. obi obe promise aye sacrifice. O promise a wonye sacrifice biya. There are people that have sacrificed for the party. Ebi mu kura ko that jail for the party. Enti obi be promise and obi ko gina box bi mu na ye busa no question 1 or 2 biya enye sacrifice. Emu obi a. Enti sa dedi na ebi mu ye say obi sacrifice e. Na senior can sacrifice 1996 Alan Tremanti yes on because of why President Kufuor
o time was
senior me see 2007 Alan Tremanti could have said say I will not penny but for the peace of the party or sacrificing here selflessness.
There is this guy in Asalam Down okay Ofen Anthony. So Anthony, I mean, if you are watching, I chill. They be also main country do chill pa.
Anthony Mejo, so I'm best now.
Anthony, I have your time.
I have a coach Anthony.
I have buffer. Now, Mr. Victoria, Vicky Ments.
One bunny do crack as a member.
She's actually on Connect effect.
Okay.
And Vicky, tomorrow is your birthday.
I just hear about that.
I wish you a happy birthday.
Okay. I have 2 minutes. Good evening, sir. In fact, what is going on in Ghana now is a big disgusting. Could imagine that I went to my hometown last week and one of my daughter got sick. When I sent her to a whole general hospital, could you believe that there was no bed? She has to sit in a chair. Citizen, what's my kind of that way? Eric Kaswa. Also, good evening, my brother Hunter. Please, your panel in the middle makes me enjoy today's show so much. Yenya Patrick Suhum. Good evening, Sammy. I appreciate the NPP. Guest guys for saying the fact. Must keep it up. Yenya Wampanidi, I'm a Ben, Dieni Pokwasi Rich. Good evening, bro. Sammy, today I think you have one MPP guy who is speaking the truth, but he is afraid because he knows he is Kwame and the message is now mantem. And the message is now mantem. I was saying, Kwame to Jumadi in I say, yes, Mr. Manet in Kwama, Uchna, Yawa, Uchna, you been more time for a year. Godfrey Dami, the Attorney General. First time in the history of Ghana, whose Attorney General interfere with the work of a year. Auditor General report. Me sure said Domlevo, baby your TBR roka say, hey, send them retirement e ma mi ko enenke ye pa. Yakramo, which na be dey share.